Well, that was nice of Todd to make a bust for Batman. Here's your look at McFarlane Toys. Justice League, the 1/3 scale Batman Cowl replica. As Gotham City's greatest vigilante, Batman has fought single-handedly for years in relentless pursuit of justice. Now, after witnessing Superman's ultimate sacrifice for mankind, Bruce Wayne's restored faith in humanity compels him to bring together a team of greatest superheroes in order to save the world. No one cared who I was until I put on the mask. Oh wait, no, that's Bane. And wait, that's a different trilogy altogether. Before that, we get a closer look at the McFarlane Toys DC Direct Justice League Batman Cowl 1/3 scale replica. Backing up just a bit, I'd like to thank the folks over at McFarlane Toys that did provide this sample. Good news though, this is in stock right now. A little late to the game of looking at it, but if you're interested to grab the cowl for yourself, although you're not going to be able to wear it, it's a little bit small in size, although I don't know how big you are as a person, it's going to be selling right now online for around $20. In fact, some of the sites that I've seen listing it for, selling it right now for $19.99. With that being said though, the tape measure is going to tell us that the cowl for Batman stands at 7 inches in height, working out to be about 18 centimeters tall. Now, I don't know if you can gauge how big 1/3 scale is, so I'm going to bring in at least a DC Multiverse figure so you can see about the size differences there. To the left, obviously, is the ever go-to Nightfall Batman. He's a standard 7-inch scale figure. I mean, again, like if you're looking at the cowl next to him, they're almost about the same size. Also, clearly, I mean, it's not that this Batman be able to wear the cowl. It's a little bit too big for him. One thing I found rather remarkable, though, is just to slide over the Justice League Batman. I want to bring in at least the box. Now, this is the box, obviously, that the cowl came inside of. I couldn't help but, though, notice on the back of it, instead of actually using an image of Batman from Justice League where he's wearing this cowl, they chose instead to use the tactical suit Batman cowl as the image. It's odd because you would think, though, that if they're going to be using a cowl, they're obviously marketing it as a Justice League Batman cowl, you'd think that they'd be also using the same image on the back. Just a little small thing. I don't know if, though, that's going to mean we're eventually going to be getting a tactical suit Batman cowl. I mean, it wouldn't change really all that much when you look at really this one. The only thing that's obviously missing is just the little side piece, the little vents that he has on the sides, and also the little tactical glasses. But I think that could also really work as well. Let's just move the box out of the way. I'm sure nobody's really all that interested in looking at the box. Let's look instead at the cowl. Now the cowl, this is my first time looking at 1/3 scale cowls. This is again from DC Direct and McFarlane Toys. I would imagine, though, that all the cowls are going to be sitting on top of the exact same display base. This base, though made of plastic, they have brushed on some silver, so it kind of gives it a look of worn away metal. On the front, it does say Batman - Justice League 2017. You may be also able to notice as well, it's got a little trademark next to Batman. Batman is trademarked, Justice League is not. I would imagine it probably is as well. It all falls within the banner of Warner Brothers. 2017, that's how far back Justice League came out. Whether you had the chance to see it theatrically in the dismal cuts that Warner did to the movie, or if you had the chance to watch the more successful, I think better, more longer obviously to watch, but the better story, the Snyder cut that we got a little bit later. One thing also with the base as well is that this is attached by 2 pieces. So like this piece is actually attached to the display base, and this is then attached to the undercarriage or the undersection of the cowl. Unfortunately, by the way it snaps in place here, it's very rattly. I mean, just to kind of move it back and forth, Batman's got a bit of the jitters. Maybe he's dealing with Scarecrow. Oh, right. Wrong trilogy again. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a little on the looser side. I would imagine you're probably not going to be going up to your statues from time to time and just like tapping them. But they are secure. I know they're not going to be going anywhere. At one point, I did think, oh, is there a way maybe to remove the cowl if you wanted to have it separate? But it's not like really, though, it'd be able to stand on its own. It's impossible just because of the way it's designed. So again, like I would imagine that they're probably going to be using the same base for every other 1/3 scale cowl piece. Again, this is the first that we've looked at here on this channel. It may not be, though, the last. Outside of this being painted, when you get to the actual cowl itself, there really isn't, though, much paint at all. I think, if anything, they probably have only just cast this in the black plastic, and that's about it. I mean, if you kind of spin this around and look at it from the different angles, it's a nice-looking version of Batman. I prefer really Batman having shorter ears myself because, I mean, so long in the Batman movies, we've always had Batman with the cowls being longer ears. I think the shorter cowls worked really well if you wanted to have a comic-looking Batman. I know some people would still prefer long-eared Batman. Whether we are going to begin something like that in the James Gunn universe, where Batman may have longer ears, you never know. We might even have a blue-cowled Batman. If that's the case, though, they definitely need to darken the colors. I mean, the way that Ben Affleck looked, though, in the Flash film, when they did give him a blue cowl, granted, though, the rest of his costume was garbage. I still like the black cowl myself. So the cowl does have breathing. I mean, obviously, while Affleck now has come forward and said, like, wearing the suit was one of the worst things ever. He lost a lot of weight. It was always sweaty, always overheated. I mean, wearing the cowl would imagine just be a nightmare. At least, though, there are some breathing holes inside the nasal cavity, so at least Batman, if anything, could breathe out his nose. There's enough space, obviously, in there as well. This is completely hollow. The mouth area, the cavity for the mouth, the cavity also for the eyes are completely hollow, too, as well. The whole idea is this is literally just Batman's cowl. If Bruce Wayne had these things as trophies, he would be going over, picking up the cowl piece and wearing on top of his head. He probably would have to have Alfred help him, too. Him getting on that outfit alone, I think that would be impossible. But there are some nice additional attention to detail. While unfortunately we don't have the Bat logo down below here, I do think, would there be maybe a way that they could have incorporated the Bat symbol, maybe like right around here, they could have printed a smaller symbol of what each of the respected Batman's cowl or what the symbol would have looked like. So obviously with Ben Affleck's, it would be a little bit more of a simpler symbol. If it was a Bale, for example, we all know what the design for Bale's Bat logo would be, and also even Adam West. I think we also did get a 1/3 scale Adam West cowl piece. They could probably have put the little symbol down below. Some maybe just would have preferred it all in black. Does it come in black? I mean, yeah, clearly it doesn't come in black. There are a few little, again, attentions to detail that they've also added. The sculpting that they've now added to the neck piece. Again, you got a little bit here on the side. I mean, it does look somewhat like the tactical suits. But again, like if we bring back in the box art here, the tactical suit would have had it up the top. This would be the part that have held his goggles. And then he would have also had, I guess really like looking at it, it does look a lot like the tactical suit. The only thing that's, again, really missing is this part right here on the side that holds his goggles. Again, I don't know if we are going to be getting ourselves a tactical suit. I mean, I can't imagine that they're probably going to be having to do much different here. The sculpting of the face looks good. I mean, again, like you're not going to have Bruce Wayne's face underneath. I like, though, that they've sculpted permanent, like, scowls on the tops of his eyebrows. Some, again, don't really like this look of Batman. I know others really do. I thought, if anything, the cowl looked okay. Batman looked, though, for the rest of his outfit, a little too puffy, a little too hefty. But the rest of the cowl, I mean, I think the cowl itself looks nice. It's obviously very light, too, while this is all hollow plastic for the undersection of the base. This is all hollow, open plastic. The actual cowl piece itself, while the plastic is a really good quality, there's not really much adding up to the weight of it, because obviously there's no Bruce Wayne sitting inside the cowl. I like the look of it. I'm glad it's the price that it is, though. I mean, to sell something like this online, or even finding it in stores for that matter, if this was getting into the territory of a $40 to $60 cowl, for the size that it is, the fact it's made of plastic, I think that'd be way too much. I think it's at a comfortable price right now. Whether that price has been, though, marked down, I mean, again, like most of the online sites that are listing the 1/3 scale replicas seem to be selling them for $19.99. I think that's also maybe even factoring the tariff costs added on top. I think for a $20 piece like this, it's good, especially if you're one that likes to be a completionist and collect the other 1/3 scale. I think this may be the second or third that Todd and his team have created. I can't see myself maybe stopping necessarily with getting just the Justice League alone. Liking the look of it, where initially I was kind of thinking on the fence. I was on the fence thinking, like, if they're going to be doing a replica of the cowl, having it, first of all, smaller doesn't make any sense. Having it also made in plastic when it would have been made of a foam or like a latex material in the movies. Just a lot of that didn't seem to really add up to me why it would have made sense for them to make smaller replicas like this. But then you got to think to yourself, like, from a collecting standpoint of movie replicas as a whole, like those that like collecting the 1/18 die-cast cars or even smaller scale cars, like some of the utility belt replicas, the Batarang replicas. This at least gives an opportunity for collectors to get a smaller scale of what the cowl would look like in the film. For those that don't have the price, don't have maybe the space available to display something like this on the shelf, something like this of a 1/3 scale is a little bit more reasonable. It doesn't take up as much real estate space. Other cowls released by McFarlane Toys in the 1/3 scale include the Hush Batman, the Dark Knight Returns, even Batman Begins. You like the 1989 Batman? They've done that as well. Even the 66 series has also been given a replica. Now let's say you're a collector though that doesn't like the 1:1, 1/3 scale and prefer 1:1 instead. Don't worry though, releasing in July, McFarlane Toys under the banner of DC Direct will be doing 1:1 scale replicas not only of the Dark Knight Batman cowl, but they've also already done the 1989 Batman cowl. The 1989 as well as the upcoming release Dark Knight are going to be selling for $159.99. I know looking though at most of the online sites seem to have the 1989 Batman out of stock, although I think they're going to be restocking them soon. The Dark Knight, like I said, if you want to get the Dark Knight Batman cowl, the 1:1, it's going to be releasing in July 2025. So again, it's a difference of your budget, obviously. If you don't have the space, you don't have the funds to maybe invest in a 1:1 scale, the 1/3 scale is fine as well. I mean, I'm one that really likes to have more things on my shelf. To the even notion of getting into a 1:1 scale market, I mean, already that's asking a lot out of my shelf space. My shelf space is already like, come on, man, I can't hold any more. Why do you keep buying these collectibles? Again, like these are all available right now. The 1/3 scale replica that we looked at in this review sells for $19.99, as well as all the other 1/3 scale. They seem to be set at that $20 price. Not bad at all if you want a smaller representation of the cowl that Batman wears in the films. Again, a big thank you to the folks over at McFarlane Toys that did provide this sample of the 1/3 scale Justice League Batman cowl that we had the chance to have a look in this review. Have you guys been collecting any of these 1/3 cowls? Let me know which ones you have currently in your collection, or if you're holding off and would rather get a 1:1 scale. If you guys did also enjoy this video, do it a solid, throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. Also, even though we are wrapping up obviously things for Batman and his cowl, popping up though at the very end of this video will be also a playlist from McFarlane Toys. So if you want to go back and have a look at all the other things I've already looked at here on this channel, with all the future reviews showing up there as well, check out, if you have the time that is, check out the playlist that's showing up shortly. As always guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.